right, is this funny or not? I just had this idea that Frank's gonna hand me the vows, and I'm gonna open them, and then I'm gonna pretend they're a shopping list, and then I'm gonna be like, oh wait, no, that's not them, and then start reading the vows.
It's on brand.
It is on brand.
If you go
I
like
think
this,
you gotta walk
it
behind me
doesn't-
like this.
I know, but then we're.
Behind me, just first. I mean,
No, it's funny. Like a lot of times, behind the
Yeah,
person.
but people, I don't think they're gonna get it.
I think if you guys do it for like
When we get it right to the
like
top.
5 seconds, and then you switch to my arms,
But
that'd be
no
good.
one sees us because
Yeah.
we're all the way at the back.
Right, no one will see you in the back. So maybe once we hit the aisle.
I think that.
But you can't see that from behind.
No, of course you. It's if I'm sitting. Hey guys.
It's okay not to do it.
I think it's fine.
No, it'll just look like you have your arm behind him. No one's gonna.
I agree
really
with
notice.
Mom.
This does not look like I
Yeah, but it's buried in my back. Unless you're back here, no one can see it.
I really don't.
The chairs on the right and the left.
Yeah. He stole my thunder. Other side.
Whoa. That's a lot of people.
I know.
Jeez. Wedding, and I was like, throw them in the garage, and the garage is just full of boxes.
That's good though, because yeah, I feel like they can.
Wait, yep, it happened when?
Yesterday,
What time?
in the morning, it was a big deal.
Why?
It was kind of an accident to get all of it.
You said it was an accident?
Well, I thought I was just gonna get it trimmed, and then it turned out that I asked to take like a little bit off, and he left a little bit there, and I got back, and Lindsay was like, "What did you do?" And she got upset, and then that made me anxious, and I was all anxious yesterday. Then the anxiety went away, and I was like, "It still looks good. It's just a big change."
How do you feel about Zach's hair, though?
Crisis happened, I guess.
It was not averted.
I not averted. No. That was a big conversation yesterday, but.
All right.
Yeah, yesterday. Jeez. Happened yesterday?
Zach, we are so proud of you. I don't know where you are.
He's right here.
I can't begin to tell you how much we love you because we have other kids. And they're here. Thank you for bringing Lindsay into our lives. With her comes a wonderful new family to love. Lindsay, your deep power of understanding and listening and your openness to love the world around you, your conscious assurance that we all have been heard and greatly acknowledged by you. Zach, who tries to soak up fun, happiness, and humor, and the ethical path to goodness. Cheers to you both with all the love we have in our hearts.
This is truly one of the happiest days of Susan's life. And now that I think about it, our marriage is the happiest. Okay? Sorry. 3 kids first, that was pretty damn good. So this is the 5th happiest day. You know what, now that I think about it, when Zach threw a no-hitter, that was awesome. My first pastrami sandwich was just amazing. Peanut butter was good. Okay, so this is about the 9th best night. About a year ago, Zach and Lindsay threw a party, and it was a call for 7 o'clock, and we got home at 6. They had done nothing, 0 preparation. Susan and I were freaked out. I run to the liquor store, she runs into the kitchen, and we helped them get ready. All of you somehow knew that that was ridiculous, and all of you came in at 8 o'clock. And I was thinking, how does that happen? And basically what I had to do was go and do some investigation and went into their report card. And by the way, this is why the yellow thing. These are real report cards. You know, I'm not joking, but I have Zach's report from elementary school. And Lindsay's. The critique on Zach is sometimes needs time for organizing his work. Now, can you imagine a second grade teacher saying that about a second grade? He must have been really disorganized. On the positive side, he generously shares his belongings, eagerly helps other students, and brightens each day. Lindsay, Patty Quarter, second grade. Basically, it's utilizes time well. Now, on the positive side, her spirit is a constant joy. How true is that today? So, lastly, I just want to make sure that you bring doesn't get any better. It does get any better than this into your marriage, at least on a daily basis, and just feel that as years go by. So, and it would be great if everyone in this room could just, in your outside voices, I know inside, just repeat after me. It doesn't get any better than this. That was not good. Okay. It doesn't get any better than this.
Writing this speech was a fun opportunity to reflect on all the things that I love about Lindsey. But those that stand out are your authentic communication and ability to set and respect boundaries. Her positive, effective presence and warmth make her feel really good to be around, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that feeling. My very favorite quality about Lindsey is one that I actually share with Zach. She is the best person to talk through something difficult with. She holds space, supports, and provides honest feedback and input. This is a really great quality to have in a sister growing up. So I still remember the first time I actually thought of you as a brother, Zach. There was a time a couple of years ago when you actually called me to talk through a dilemma that you were experiencing because Lindsey wasn't available. I just want to share with you how meaningful it was and how it made me feel really special, and I think that's the first time I really felt like I knew you would be my brother. Here we are today. You not only balance each other out, you complement and bring out the best in each other. Your relationship is truly one that we can all learn from and look up to.
Oh, it's really fun, and it's been great. It's kind of interesting because it doesn't seem like the real wedding yet, even though we're in the process. It's the weirdest thing. But then I think once we start walking down the aisle, it'll all come together, and I think that's what will get emotional. Yeah. So, yay!
They've spent a better part of a decade building and fortifying their Austin community. Their ability to bring people together and form meaningful connections is an incredible attribute they both share. Molly and I have been lucky enough to be part of their journey for over the last 6 years, each forming special connections with Lindsey, Zach, as individuals and as couples. Today is not only the official joining together of these two people in marriage, but also the joining together of their families in a commitment to grow and share their community in the years to come.
When I was 37 years old, I was a single guy living a single guy's life. And I came home from work one day and I sat myself down and I made a commitment to myself. And the commitment was that the next woman that I meet and get involved with will be the woman with whom I will spend the rest of my life. So anyway, 2 or 3 months went by, and then I get a call from a friend, and she said, "Tom, there is somebody I want you to meet. She lives in New Jersey. She's going to be out in Southern California on a training program in a couple of weeks. Great. So that Saturday morning, about 11 o'clock, I hear the car, pulls up, out walks Mary Lynn. Right? And, we greeted, hi, I'm Tom, you're Mary Lynn. And I was thinking to myself, is it possible that she's the one? We went up to the city and we ended up in Chinatown. We duck in this curio shop because I wanted to get some souvenirs. My eyes gravitate to this one table, and this table has these dolls on it. I bought a doll. I am not a doll guy. This doll was Lindsey coming to me. This doll was Lindsey coming to me from a future. It really is as though Lindsey was saying, Dada, I'm waiting for you. And when you get here, you bring that big open space in your heart, and you're never going to be lonesome again.
Oh!
Surprise!
Oh, wow.
Look good?
Oh, man.
Sweet baby. And when my two daughters came along, even better. The cure was absolute. And Zach, you are, I honestly, I thank God for Zach. I love Zach. He's just an amazing guy. So thank you, and congratulations, you too.
That's a great top. I love that.
So when Lindsey and Zach wrote to me asking me if I would give a short speech about what it takes to build a good marriage, I read the email aloud to my wife of 25 years, Gabby. The long-suffering woman laughed long and heartily. Then we both wept. I'm kidding, of course. Dr. Seuss once said, "We are all a little weird, and life is a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness and call it love." Now, I don't yet know Zach well. I mean, hell, we just met yesterday. But I think Lindsey and Zach may have followed Dr. Seuss's advice well. Zach seems to me like someone who fits into our family matrix very easily. Look, Lindsey comes from a couple parents with close extended families and some kind of kooky folks. From the earliest days of Lindsey and Marissa's lives, they were being called banana muffins by their dad, jumping around and running after him as he tried to sneak cigarettes with me and my siblings. I'm happy to say we have all quit by now, however. Clearly, this somehow led to her and Marissa's propensity for synchronized jumping in every single picture. Lindsey, one of your dad's first cousins in Indiana told me, "You can't be a mathematician and try to define marriage. Even with two people, it's not 50-50. You can't keep score. Perhaps that's why older folks do so well with marriage. They forget the score. So just tell Lindsey and Zach not to remember anything, and they should be okay." Recently passed Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg once simply stated, "The secret to a good marriage is to be a little deaf." One wonders if that applied to her relationship with her fellow justices, but that's another speech. Another family member of yours asked me to remind you of an oldie but a goodie. Don't go to bed angry. I wasn't going to include that because it's not particularly funny, but after 25 years I can tell you it's true. Finally, we have this gem from the famous American actor and comedian Henny Youngman, master of the one-liners. I think he sums up what I'm trying to say here perfectly. The secret to a happy marriage remains a secret. But if you, Lindsey and Zach, follow these 4 guidelines, you may find the secret. Maybe you already have. But if you choose to follow them, you may end up with each other for decades and decades and decades. So be careful, because things only get weirder.
While it may be true that every couple is unique and there's no perfect way to have a successful partnership, there is the Carter way. And the Carter way to have a successful marriage partnership is about 1, laughter, and 2, respect. You see, we were brought up with grandparents who would gather dozens of people around them just to hear their punchlines. In their house, cracking jokes was a memorable part of every visit. According to the 3 Carter couples that I spoke to, laughter is the most important component of a successful partnership because laughter makes everything better. Life can be really hard, and if you can find the humor in the everyday moments, laugh together as often as possible, and break the tension with some humor, you can have a successful partnership the Carter way. In addition to laughter, the Carter way prioritizes respect, and respect can take many forms, and it looks different for each couple. Respect is writing a list of everything you love about your partner and taping it to the refrigerator. Respect is understanding that sometimes the relationship can't be 50-50, and it's okay that right now it's 70-30 or 80-20. Respect is making this commitment and honoring it, and respect is knowing that the grass is greenest where you water it. The last thing I want to say, Zach, is that in addition to the Carter way, there's also the Pop-Up's way. Pop-Up, our grandfather, loved Grandma so fiercely, so deeply, and so outwardly that loving her, I've cried every time I practice at this part, that loving her was one of his most prominent traits, and his dying wish was to make sure she was cared for. Grandma once told me that the best thing that ever happened to her was Pop-Up. So Zach and Lindsey, my marriage advice is that with laughter, respect, and a love so vibrant and so palpable that everyone around you can feel it, you two can also be the best thing that happened to each other. I love you.
Please don't let me go alone.
You're a C friend.
That scared me. Grabbed my finger. For far too long. And I've got a message.
Okay, so do we have the invite? You're already drinking. Holy shit, this is like a Lehigh Lafayette football game. Wow, man.
Come on, man.
Tough.
Also, we're okay.
What inspired the fanny pack?
It's an amazing question. I think it's out of necessity, really. You need, easy access to the pedals. So I went to like a Flower Dude camp for a weekend. Just got like a little intensive training. Really working on like my twirls, and then also like arc is something that I feel like a lot of these like sort of amateur flower girls are something that they're really like lacking in their performance. And I think part of the event is like creating that fuller arc to really like engage the rest of the crowd.
It's funny, we didn't ask him to go to camp or do any of this training, but he took it really seriously. And if I'm gonna be honest, there's a little girl who wanted to do it, but Jeremy was really excited about it, so we let him do it. And I know he can hear me, but he knows all this, so.
Yeah, I mean, she stood no chance.
My peripherals are wide open today. Just
wedding crashes
today. Anyone tries to bother you with any logistical questions,
like you are right now,
I'm gonna like leap and jump on top of you. I'll hold many titles in my life, and at the top of that list, aside from handsome younger brother and funniest sibling, aside from all that, the one that I'm the most proud of holding is Zachary Carter's brother. I've said these words to you before, Zach. I want to say them again. You have an incredible braveness and brashness to you, this way of making the world your oyster, and an unacceptance of anything that doesn't make sense to you. And I really respect that about you. I've always wanted to be like Zach. Do what he does, be with his friends, very classic brother stuff. Zach played t-ball, so I played t-ball. Zach took a guitar lesson. I ended up playing guitar for years afterwards. And Zach got into videography. So I took a high school videography class and then ended up working production sets on the weekends just to see if maybe I could be better than him. That's not the case. They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, so I hope that you take our childhood as a compliment. You always led a life worth following, and you continue to do so as an adult. Now, I'm looking at what you have with Lindsey, the way you look at her and the way you treat one another. And that's what I'm going to do my best as we enter adulthood to imitate as your brother. Lindsey, thank you for not only coming into Zach's life, but all of our lives. Right when I met you, I could tell that your personality really complemented Zach's and that you two are gonna be a really great match for each other. You're patient, intentional, you're quick to connect, and you have such a big heart for others. You're someone people want to be around, and you're someone who lets other people know how much you want to be around them. You both have identities that are rooted in loving and caring for other people, creating fun environments, and I think everyone would agree with me here, just being really positive spirits. I think the thing that I'm so excited about now is that these amazing traits that you both possess are now complemented and stronger with the two of you together. And Lindsey, I want to thank you for sticking with my brother, even though you are totally out of his league. Zach, I have never been more proud of you. If everybody could please raise their glass, I'd like all of you to join me in wishing the new Mr. and Mrs. Carter all the happiness in the world. I love you, Zach. Cheers.
How are we feeling?
So excited.
Do you think Zach is nervous?
He might be.
You seem very cool, calm, and collected.
Do you think he's gonna cry during the ceremony?
No, but my husband will.
Oh, 100%.
Lindsey, do you think Zach's gonna cry?
I hope so.
I want him to. Yesterday she turned to him and said, I can't wait to see you cry tomorrow. Is that right? Or
Yeah.
did you say that? Oh my gosh.
I think I said that to quite a few different people. I love when they cry.
I'm feeling great. I'm very confident. I know he'll pull it off. He gets nervous in the beginning, but he'll rise to the occasion.
Did you ever think your son would be getting married, Zach?
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes when we think about love and marriage, it's framed as two halves coming together to create a whole. But you two really challenge this idea. You are both independent, self-assured, and steady. And if not together, you would likely go on living fully happy lives. But that's what makes your relationship so special. You don't need the other person to be happy and feel full. You want the other person as your partner.
Zach. Who would have thought that one of my favorite foods, popcorn, and a childhood schoolyard game, kickball, would be the conduit for a friendship turning into a relationship and leading to a marriage? And today I'm choosing you to be my lifelong partner for so many reasons. One of the beautiful things that our relationship has taught me is that it's not about choosing a life partner who fits all of our needs, but choosing someone who fits the core needs. And for you and I, that meant finding a true equal who makes the other person feel safe, respected, valued, and cared for. I was reminded of this when, on a recent trip home to California, you asked my parents what changes they had seen in me since I started dating you. They said that since being in a relationship with you, I seem more self-assured, more grounded and confident in who I am. Their response really highlighted for me that our relationship has been instrumental in me deepening my relationship with myself. I admire your always curious mind that loves to learn and seeks to grow to be a better person, or the confidence you have in who you are. You constantly show me how much I mean to you through small gestures of care, like allowing me to grip your leg with my very clammy hands when I'm anxious on a flight. You treat me like an equal and you value my input on decisions big and small. And you acknowledge and appreciate my strengths, some that I feel proud of and some that I don't even see in myself. And one of the best gifts you've given me is showing me love and kindness to all parts of me, even the parts that I feel insecure or ashamed about. This has made it easier to love them myself. To me, marriage is a symbol that we are both on board with working through future challenges and prioritizing our relationship. And while that can sometimes feel daunting, I'm so grateful that you are the person I chose to do this with, because I trust with all of my heart that you are committed to making this relationship work, and I promise to try my very best to do the same. I promise to pause and hug you when you're feeling low, to laugh at your dad jokes. Actually, that one might be hard, so I'm gonna say I'll acknowledge your dad jokes. That feels fair. I promise to praise your accomplishments and listen to your fears and anxieties. I promise to communicate clearly so that you don't have to guess, to set boundaries and listen to yours. I promise to respect our differences and lovingly tell you to call a friend when you are full of energy and I cannot give you the response that you're wanting. I promise to recognize and appreciate all the wonderful acts of kindness that you do for me every day. But the biggest promise of all, I promise to help you look for your lost keys, lost wallet, lost phone, wedding band, hair ties, headband, book, headphones for the rest of the time that we're together. You are the family I'm choosing, and I love you so much.
Milk. Apples. Frank, this is wrong. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm set. Now I'm really nervous. Okay. It's really happening, right?
I know.
Okay, Lindsay, before I read my vows, I want to reflect on how we got here today. It started off fun and casual, but I fell pretty quickly. And it was easy, and you weren't totally into it at first. But somehow that didn't bother me. Because when I started, I had a list, and the list had things like everyone's list, that the person I was going to marry had to be beautiful and kind, and that she had to laugh and have a good heart, and she had to lift me up and support me and get along with my friends and my family and be adventurous and be her own person, someone I admired. And after about 2 dates, you did check all those boxes, and I was in love. And but a few years later, I started thinking about this day, our wedding day, that this is just a crazy decision we're making based on trust and faith in each other and taxes. And love. Right. Wrong. The way that you touch your earlobe when you're really listening, not on any of the lists that I mentioned before. And the way you call me when I go out of town and tell me you missed me after 30 minutes wasn't on my list. And the way you make me feel when I'm nervous or worried, which can be a lonely feeling, is made so much better when you're there. And the way everyone who meets you instantly loves you. And the way I feel when we're in a group and you grab my hand. Or the way that I want to confide in you and when my confidence wavers. I never really thought about any of these things when I was making my list, and I couldn't have known because I hadn't met you yet. The list was easy, but it took me years before these things that weren't on the list started to make sense. And we both know I hate lists anyway, so.
Yeah.
Lindsay, I love you, and I vow to love you for the rest of my life. I vow to change with you. I vow to be a partner to you throughout life, one you can share with and confide in and laugh with. I vow to love you for all that you are and support you in all that you'll be. I vow to be a good father and a better team when we start a family. I vow to get better at massages.
Good.
I vow to listen to you. And I vow to grow old with you and wonder where all the time went. And I vow to continue reminding you that
that these are the good old days, and I vow to give you my heart and share my soul with you. And my last vow is to all of you. You are our support and our witnesses and our family, and I vow to not be afraid to ask you all for help when I need it most. If soulmates do exist, they're found. I'm sorry, that's not right. If soulmates do exist, they're not found. They're made. Should I say that again? I'm gonna say it the right way. Okay. If soulmates do exist, they're not found, they're made. People meet, they get a good feeling, and then they get to work building a relationship. Lindsey, I'm excited to work each day becoming soulmates. I love you.
It is our honor and delight to declare you husband and wife. Zach, let's do this.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh!